Gundam. Let's do it!
It's a tough mission, but I think you're ready.
If we're gonna save the colonies, we're gonna need top Gundam pilots. Transforming Wing Gundam is the most powerful Gundam in the galaxy. But before you can unleash its full potential, you have to transform it from mobile suit mode to bird mode. That's why we need pilots with an ability to take on Gundam mechanics. To beat the best, you have to be the best.
Hello, everyone. I'm David Kay, a.k.a. the voice of Professor X from that old series, X-Men Evolution. And you're listening to Gundam at MAHQ. Logan? Logan, where is Storm? Tell her to come for tea.
How has this become about a Gorn wedding? What are you avoiding?
Look, I'm just telling you the events of Stardate 57791.1, all right? Damn! Rude!
I want details on how you stole the bird of prey!
I know, man. Me too.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Gundam at MAHQ. This is one of your hosts, Neo, and joining me always is the Soul Bro and the Chris. Guys, say hello.
Man, live long and prosper, everybody.
Fascinating. How you doing?
Fascinating it is.
Thank you, Spock. Fascinating.
Indeed.
That's a word that I didn't think we would use tonight during these reviews.
Oh shit!
I mean, fascination can be fascinated by how messed up something is.
That's true. That is true. That is true. But yes, welcome back, everybody. This is episode 321 of Gundam at MAHQ, and man, we are going to do a review of season 3 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, a show that we've been talking about for the last couple of years. And we did the season 1 and season 2 reviews in prior episodes. definitely, I guess maybe up to this point, one of our favorites. So teaser. But guys, I would say normally I'm going to saunter over to the Larry King Memorial News Studio, but there's some renovations going on in the studio.
Oh,
We're just
boy.
not going to be able to have news tonight. Yeah, sorry about that. And unless my roving reporters out there have something quick, they can just get to me. Parker, you got anything?
Parker, give me pictures of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
That's right.
Spider-Man, threat or menace?
Exactly.
Always.
Why does he wear red? Is he secretly MAGA? What's going on?
Oh!
Well, I got some breaking news for you, Neo.
Okay.
So, according to highly placed government source, if you take Tylenol, you can become a new type.
Oh, really?
It's scientifically proven.
Are you actually?
You will see the tears of time.
Is that? Who told you that? Your brain worm?
Oh no!
Yes, the worm is a new type. It's in control.
The worm has turned.
You thought new type dolphins were weird. I got news for you, buddy.
Oh man.
That's a decent impression, but you don't have enough like gasping for air.
It hurts to do this too much.
I know it's one of those ones. Yeah,
It's a level 5 impression. It hurts to do.
I was watching
It hurts to do in more ways than one.
Oh yes.
I was listening to a sports podcast like a couple weeks ago, and somebody started doing. I'm sure you guys know who Mad Dog Russo is.
Oh yeah.
He's now with Steven. Yeah, and the way he talks, and somebody did an impression of them, and like halfway through, the guy just petered out. He's like, "Oh my god, this just hurts my body to do." He's like, "How can this person? How can they speak this way?" And it's just like, yeah. So I applaud it though. Great effort, Chris. I'm gonna give you. I give you a 10. I think the judge from Nigeria gave you a 9.5, and the guy from Belarus gave you an 8. I don't know why. So, but
Okay.
But yes. Any news, Chris? Anything you want to do before we get into our reviews tonight? We're just gonna jump in there because we're just chomping at the bits for some season 3 of Strange New Worlds. No?
Nothing that I can see. We got this is straight off of ANN, which is loading slowly. Star Wars Visions Volume 3 trailer unveils Japanese and English casts.
Oh
Man.
cool. Anything of note there?
I can't load it up because. Oh, here we go. There's too many names here. It's too many things to mention because it's a breakdown of the casts of every single one of the shorts. It says here it will debut on Disney Plus, if you still have that, on October 29th. And we have a variety of Japanese studios working on this one again since the second season was global studios. So we got Production IG and we got Trigger, and I'm sure it will be crazy stuff.
Wow, cool. Sounds pretty interesting.
Well, the chat.
Oh,
go ahead. Sorry.
I'm saying maybe they can get the excitement back into Star Wars because, I mean, honestly, I feel like it's just one of those things that kind of gone and went. So.
Yeah. Just judging from the trailer this week for the Mandalorian and Grogu, that went over like a thud.
Like a turd.
Like a thud, man.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, damn. Usually Star Wars trailers kind of stop the world for 5 minutes, but not that one. That one is like
MCT.
Well, their timing's a little off.
Yeah, brother. You are not wrong.
Without getting too into the weeds about it, you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah,
I'll give you guys this. Okay, so who's the worst corporate media overlord? Did David Zaslav finally lose that crown? to
Oh
Bob
shit,
Iger
he might
last
have.
week?
He might have. Oof.
Like one is completely
Don't
free for
Don't
themselves.
discount Nepo baby shithead David
Oh,
Allison.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
We welcome a new challenger. Nepo baby Ellison. My daddy gave me everything, and I'm going to tell people that they need to be in the office because that's how I learned stuff. Not the fact that my dad's worth, $100 billion. No.
My daddy said I could be a studio executive with his money. I've never worked a day in my life.
Oh shit.
I come in. I want you guys all in the office, but you're going to have to be there really early.
You gotta work hard like I did.
So
I built
so
everything
hard.
on my own. I built everything on my own.
From the ground up.
Bootstraps.
Bootstraps,
I'm the
it's on
American
me.
dream.
Yo, these bootstraps, man. Yeah. They seem to be not all that they're cracked up to be. These bootstraps. Ugh.
Well, they're not bootstraps; they're Gucci loafers.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes, you were correct.
I mean, come on.
In the chat, MCT Dread gives us Randy Pitchford and Palmer Luckey. Good, yes.
Oh,
Palmer Luckey, the less said about him, the better.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, exactly. The world's
and Yahtzee brings up the old classic Bobby Kotick. Yeah, well, he's gone.
Well,
so.
MCG Dread does come bring up some good news. Of course, an MCU character, one of the actors, Robert Redford, passed away. I think last week, right?
Yeah.
So.
Unfortunately.
So he was Alexander Pierce in The Winter Soldier,
and in Endgame as well.
Endgame too, yeah. And then, So guess we won't be seeing him. That's gonna be a recast. But who cares about Marvel anymore? So
I think his storyline was probably done anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we can at least see him in jail. But Frank Lawson comes back with The Rock Got Smaller. Yeah, I've heard about that one. And anything else? Really, Yazzie David Zaslow is still the worst. Are you sure about that? Like, he's a shit pot, but did he ever sit there and say people can lose their constitutional rights and bow down to a dictator?
Well,
did he?
It's still only September.
Oh, that's true.
God damn.
When it sweeps? When it sweeps? November? Or
October.
Like
November.
October.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was wrong. It's November, like Chris said. It is. But yeah, man. There's so much more game left. I hate to say it. It sucks.
There's so much time. Yeah, there's so much time.
Fuck.
I mean, the overlords of just dying medias. It's so funny. It's just I don't know. We'll go there. Anything else of note?
I haven't really got to talk about this on stream yet, but there's a game that's being worked on right now that I really like, and they showed. Speaking of Spider-Man, they showed him and Ghost Rider off today at Tokyo Game Show. That game is Marvel Tokon. It's being developed by Arc System Works, and it is being distributed by Sony. It's a fighting game from Arc System Works from I believe some of the team that did Dragon Ball FighterZ. It looks incredible. There was a closed beta a couple weeks ago, and they're showing a new version off at Tokyo Game Show. So for anybody who wants to see new footage of it, it's popping up on the internet left and right. But just Spider-Man and Ghost Rider. Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider, by the way, not Johnny. What's his last name? I forget.
Blaze.
Johnny Blaze. I always mix up Johnny Blaze with Johnny Storm. That's my bad. But yeah, Johnny Blaze is not the one in the game, but it's cool. They've got 8 characters announced so far, with more to be announced later on.
What about Johnny Quest?
That's DC actually officially now. So yeah, it's cool. It's a super cool game.
Johnny Quest is DC.
Yeah, because Warner Brothers owns Hanna-Barbera, and there's an actual. There's a canon.
James Gunn. Please, James Gunn, give us Johnny Quest. Give us what we've always wanted.
Him and Space Ghost have been crossing over into the DC comic universe, so it's been happening.
God, that's exactly what I want. Just settle the question for us. Race was actually Dr. Quest's secret boy toy. We know this, right? Like this is known, huh?
Warner Brothers, well, I mean, Venture Brothers, they alluded to it.
That's a different situation. But I'm not even talking about Venture Brothers. Just watching that show.
I guess that's all you need, right?
Just watching that show. It's just implied. So, yeah.
Hey, man, good for them. Good for them. That's what's up. Good.
I don't want live action Venture Brothers. I want live action Johnny Quest. I want the source material, Yazzie.
Hey.
I mean, come on. Come on.
Good times.
But anything else?
Nah, man. We got to get to work.
It's time to get to. I was trying to delay it. It's like, do I really want to delve back into season 3 of
rip
World?
off the Band-Aid.
Sometimes you got to rip it off, man.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta go in hot. You know, what are you gonna do? So
gotta face the backdraft.
I spoiled the Johnny Quest fighting game.
If only.
But is that the secret boss level? I can't fight you, Race. I can't fight you, Dr. Quest. What are we gonna do? Let's go for sushi.
A decent resolution.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
So, all right, Chris, you want to give us a quick little synopsis of this hidden gem, season 3?
I think, just given the many ups and downs, I think we got to take this one one by one.
Oh, you want to? We're going
right.
old school. We're
going old school.
Shit, we got the time.
This is episode 3. This is episode 3, motherfuckers. It's time to
now,
go.
not like long description of the episode.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I'm
bursts.
just gonna read the one sentence intro summary from Memory Alpha for each episode.
Oh, by all means.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, thrill me.
There you go.
So we'll start with Hegemony Part 2, the season premiere.
Mm-hmm.
After the Gorn attack Parnassus Beta, Pike and the crew of the Enterprise have serious choices to make.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they do.
So this was the continuation of the 2-year wait of the cliffhanger of what are they going to do, and they have a divided crew trying to deal with fighting the Gorn, and there's some thrills and whatnot, but at the end, they rip off Best of Both Worlds Part 2 and make them go to sleep. That's the solution. That's how they get out of the pickle, the Gorn pickle.
It's
and
so
they give
anticlimactic.
some of Una's blood to Batel to stop her from getting Gorny.
Yeah, a little bit of into dumbness, magic blood. You know, we got to do that.
Oh man.
So, yeah. I don't know. So, bro, go ahead before I say anything. So, what are your thoughts of Hegemony Part 2?
Well, this is, of course, the first episode of the season and a continuation of the finale of last season. So I was pretty excited to see how this worked out. This one was middle of the road for me, but I completely agree with what Chris was saying. It's a lot of warmed over stuff from previous Treks, and that's not to say that other Trek shows haven't done this, where they do a similar episode to a previous Trek series, but usually they'll find something new and to inject into it. I can't say there was too much of this here. It's kind of more so an homage to a lot of things that didn't really flow together well. I appreciated seeing all the crew come back and pretty much all the characters surviving for the most part. But I kind of think there probably should have been a death in this episode, right? It felt like there was going to be one. Yeah, it should have been at least one. I was hoping it wouldn't have been Ortega's because she still hadn't had her own episode yet, which we'll finally get to later on down in this discussion. But yeah, there's
somebody I would have rather had died this episode than do things in the season finale. So
yeah,
we'll get to that.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Magic jazz hands.
Yeah, it's just it felt like the tone changed from last season to this one, starting with this episode, right? And the feeling of the writing, because a lot of people have criticized Strange New Worlds for being too much into the flow of other Trek series, but I've loved it so far until this season. I feel like I'm talking bad about a good friend because I waited so long for the show to come back, and when it did, it's just a little lukewarm to me.
Yeah, but friends can betray you, dude.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
That's fair.
I mean,
That's fair. But at the same
it's got
time,
nothing to do with you.
yeah. But I mean, it is what it is. I have to speak honest about my opinions on the show, right? And I still am looking forward to next season, whenever that drops. But I have a really strong feeling that they postponed this season because maybe the response to it in house was lukewarm, and they wanted to make sure to secure the other 2 seasons before they released this one, because they knew they were going to get shellacked for a lot of the episodes in this season. But overall, I like the arc with Spock and Chapel. I liked the having to go into the other ship and dealing with that situation. And yeah, that was the part that was interesting. But everything else was just was way too convenient. I didn't like how indecisive Pike was. He finally got it together and got things going, but that shit killed me. But yeah, ultimately, when it came to I always forget her name, but Pike's fiance,
Battelle.
Yeah, she should have she should have not gotten through this. To be honest with you, that's just my opinion.
Would have been better.
It would have been better. It would have definitely hit harder instead of you. As we're going to talk about later, there's other events that take place this season, which may or may not involve her. But yeah, that's my quick overall thing. It's middle of the road for me, this episode.
Chris?
Now, I thought the episode started off well enough, and there's some really great scenes. There's some good action, but then in the last act, it really just fell apart for me when I saw that they're ripping off Best of Both Worlds. Like, that's the best you could make. Like, you set up this whole conflict, and the best you could do is to copy Michael Pillar's ass pull.
Yes.
And
that's it.
Luckily the Gorn can't do anything with weapons, and they'll just conveniently put them in a pile for you to grab for your escape.
Yeah, it just they clearly didn't have a solution, and they just ripped one off, which is something we'll see later again in the season. So yeah, this episode is middle of the road for me because of just the ending being so unoriginal and so uninspired. Like, they could not come up with anything more novel than this.
Yeah, I agree with the two of you. It started out well. I thought it was well, and then at like you said, the last act just is like, this is it. And for something that had such high stakes, there's no payment. Like, there was no payment due on anything. And I look back on this, and I look back on like season 1 when they killed Hemner. It's like, you went through this whole thing where you take a guy and you just like, but at this point, for whatever reason, they're just not killing anybody. And it's something we're going to see through the rest of these episodes is like, I mean, and when they do have some type of offing of somebody, they come back, and it's like some convenient weird thing, and it's just like, where's the danger in this stuff? Where is, like, it just doesn't, it's becoming so sanitized. And like Chris stated, the theme of, I get you're always gonna borrow from other shows and stuff, but in the point where we start to get to is like, hey, not only are we borrowing this, but you remember this? You remember that episode of that previous Trek that you liked? Well, it really happened this way, and this is why that happened. So, yeah, and we'll get to that. So, anything else on the first episode?
Nope.
And I think the best way to chase a middle of the road episode is to bring us back to a Wacky Spock episode, because that's a current theme. I mean, every
season.
Every season we gotta have a Wacky Spock episode.
Let's go.
Yeah, episode 2, Wedding Bell Blues. Chris, I'll let you delve into this one. So let it go.
At a Federation celebration, an uninvited guest disrupts Spock and the crew's reflections.
Next time on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
You got yes.
I see what you were putting down.
You understood. So yes, Trelane shows up, but now it's Rhys Darby.
Yes.
And he's just fucking with everybody and making Capel and Spock get married, even though she's with Roger Corby, who is also mysteriously Irish now, when he was not in TOS.
Absolutely not.
And he's just messing around with everything and making everything worse. And then finally they figure it out, and a glowing light, voiced by John Delancey, comes and spirits him off and puts everything back the way it was.
Damn. Yeah, definitely John Delancey for certain. Yeah, this episode was fun.
Was it?
It was fun. It was fun.
Was it really?
I was annoyed.
Fun?
I was annoyed.
Why was it fun?
I was annoyed. Okay, it was fun because it's a wacky Spock episode. I've been okay with these. There's another one this season, by the way, later on, and that one, woo, we're gonna get to that. But this one was okay. It was nice seeing Roger Corby get introduced in the show, and yeah, he's very Irish. It was a treat actually seeing the same actor that showed up in this season's episode of Daredevil. He played a bank robber, like the head of a bunch of bank robbers in that episode. I want to say it's about episode 5, but it was the same actor that plays Roger Corby in this show. And I like this actor in particular, so seeing him become part of the supplemental cast is nice. I felt bad for Spock, of course, because you knew this was going to happen, that his relationship was going to definitely have its heart stabbed out because of the fact that Chapel moved on. But, she's trying to kind of reconcile at least a friendship from what they had. Of course, she'll live to regret this later in the original series. But, it's a whimsical episode. They start to build a bridge between Spock and La'an, which it's pretty fucking sudden for this to take place. But by episode end, you can see they have something going. So they're each other's rebound, apparently. So I don't know what to make of that yet, yes. But it seems
my rebound. Your rebound is the ancestor of what ends up being one of your greatest enemies.
Yeah, explain that to me, right? Explain that to me. Not a word about it in Space Seed or Wrath-of-Khan.
Dude, we already
went down this road.
That boat already sailed in episode 1.
I gotta let it go.
That ship already sailed. You just gotta.
That shit.
That's done.
It just makes me laugh when I see that.
It's still top of mind.
Tony,
but...
not another. Dude, just not another word, dude.
It is what it is. It is what it is. I have to hold that right. But I still find it. Interesting pairing, so I'm not too mad at that. Rhys Darby is always a treat in anything he shows up in. We belovedly remember him as Koran in the Netflix Voltron, or no longer Netflix Voltron. But yeah, Voltron, legendary defender.
Gay Voltron.
The gay Voltron, son. Yeah, but Gaytron. He's also in another famously.
I didn't know the name changed.
He's also
DEI Gaytron.
He's also the main character in a very LGBTQ friendly show, Our Flag Means Death, over on HBO. I saw the first episode. I thought it was funny. But
it got canceled.
Which sucks. That sucks so hard.
Thanks, Zaslav.
Thanks, Dave. You jackass.
Yep.
But this episode was whimsical. I think the thing that annoyed me the most, though, is tying it into Trelane and Q's son. This episode kind of puts a bow on.
What? Wait, whoa. Q's son?
That's what I think they were implying.
Is this a Solbro, like, wanting it to happen? I mean, because
no,
I'll be honest with you.
It's implied.
This has been a fan theory.
It's been a fan theory for a long time.
Theory for decades.
It's been in books too.
That Trelane was a baby Q.
Yeah,
and yes, it was in the novels as well.
Because the Qs don't exist off of linear time, so it could be possible.
Okay.
Yeah, so Trelane, this Q's appearance here, and Q's son in Voyager may all be the same entity. We don't know for certain, but it could be. But yeah, that was a little bit. That kind of put me off. a little bit. But other than that,
you forgot Q when he showed up on Deep Space Nine.
Oh yeah, best appearance.
That quick point,
boy,
quick time.
He got the 2-hit combo from Cisco, boy. Good shit. But yeah, it was a fun episode. I can't really say it blew my socks off though, so that's where I'll leave it. Go ahead, guys.
Chris?
You know, it had its moments, and Rhys Darby is just great in everything, especially the second and third Jumanji movies.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely,
a lot of fun in those. But I didn't just want to see more exploration of Spock and Chapel and this setup of Spock and Lon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not into that. And here's the conflict.
What's up?
These are all very attractive people.
Yes.
Right.
And you want to see them all together because they're all very attractive people. But I don't want to see these characters together.
Yeah, I agree.
Makes no sense, yeah.
Like you put Ethan Peck and Christina Chong into a room, and I'm like, okay. You put Spock and La'an into a room, and I got to do the Geordi deflect from the meme format because we don't do Drake.
We don't do Drake, sir. No doubt.
I got to do the Geordi deflect.
Oh.
So yeah, that's, and also like it was just too cute at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Having to tie into TOS and TNG by making this explicit connection of Trelane and the Q, and like to what end? Like I'm assuming that this is supposed to be after the TOS episode, and he just decides to fuck around with people more because he didn't learn his lesson, so he goes back in time a few years. But you know, what was the purpose that this served other than just, hey, look, you know, we're doing more TOS stuff.
Yeah, I did like the fact that that Trelane appeared differently to everybody, so that way they couldn't really recognize him from the actual episode that he appears in TOS later on down the road. So they at least threw that in. I thought that was cool. But
when you have to go that far to like do the cannon dodging,
yeah,
that probably should be your indicator. Just don't do it.
Fair point.
Yeah,
like when Enterprise used the Ferengi 200 years early,
mm-hmm.
and they had to go to these great pains to make sure that Archer and the rest of the crew never saw them.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the indication that was a stupid idea.
Yeah.
To not have done it.
Yeah, I think the best way
this feels like kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I think the best time it was ever done was in Deep Space Nine, with the Trouble with Tribbles episode. They managed to pull it off there, but ever since then they've been trying to repeat that, and it just hasn't been as clever as that episode did it.
Well, my issue with this episode is I don't mind a Spock-centric episode, but why does it have to be an additional wacky one? Like, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just, and I get where Chris is going. It's like, okay, I know people like the relationships, they're attractive people, you want this to happen, but we already did it like 2 times before. Why do we need it again? And then why do we have to like you say, you know, make it go to a future, well, in their timeline, which would be a future TOS and Next Generation episode. So it's like, you're right. You're doing too many things. If you're having to do all these things
mm-hmm.
to make this work, maybe you should just do a different story. Like there's not a different type of like alien thing that we can do.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Maybe let's explore like maybe Spock's something else. It doesn't have to be like I don't need like the complete drama episode, but you know, something else. It doesn't just have to be wacky Spock episode. You know, maybe you put him in something that, you know, he's not used to, or I don't know. You know, it's just, I was mixed on this one. Yes, the performances are great. Yeah, everybody's great in it when their performances, but performances only go so far when the story is just like reused and simplistic and just kind of, you know, why are we doing this? And it feels wasted. And that's one of the themes I start feeling like in this show. I'm like, especially after we find out that we have a time limit on it now, and it's like, why are we wasting things? Why are we wasting the episode on things that just don't really matter? If it's going to be Strange New Worlds, why don't we do Strange New Worlds? Not let's, you remember that prior Star Trek episode from one of your favorite shows. This is why it, you thought that was cool, but this is like the precursor of that. It's like,
yeah,
why are we doing this? It's lazy writing. Like, I feel like in the end, this is just they're being lazy. And I'm not going to go, and I saw online where people are like, oh, well, the writer's strike and all this other stuff, but I don't know if that's the case. I mean, it was probably just bad. I mean, it might have been just bad idea to begin with. I don't know. Did they change the writing teams this year? Who knows? But anything else on Wedding Bell Blues? It sounds like it sounds like a ripoff of a Cowboy Bebop. Sounds like the Chinese knockoff of Cowboy Bebop. Wedding Bell Blues.
No, it's a Macross episode.
there you go.
It's a Macross
Wedding Bell
episode.
Blues.
Yes,
That's a Macross episode for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Next one, Shuttle to Kenfori.
Oh,
So, Chris, why don't you give us the one-sentence synopsis of this episode, courtesy of our friends at Memory Alpha?
yo, the elevator pitch.
Pike and Mbenga enter Klingon space for Batel's cure as Mbenga's past returns on a deadly world.
Ooh.
With zombies.
Yeah, this is basically this should just be returned to Starbase Raccoon City, right?
Yeah, right.
This is what it is.
No, it's the Trek of Us.
The Trek of Us, yes.
Because they're plant zombies.
That's right. Oh my goodness.
But we get the big reveal in this one. It's like we knew this. I do applaud him in this one. I in some ways I felt this was one of the more standout episodes in this season of mediocrity.
Yeah,
so,
you give your opinion, Neil. Since you already given it, what's your thoughts?
You sometimes can't go wrong with a good old fashioned zombie episode.
Yeah,
and it's of course they go down on this the restricted. There's so many planets that you're not supposed to go to in the Federation. I have a feeling it seems like there's more planets that are like excluded and are restricted. It's like what was that from Search for Spock?
Oh yeah,
when
the Genesis planet.
Genesis planet. Restricted, not good. It's like the same thing with this
forbidden.
one. Planet forbidden. So it's the same thing here. But we do get the big reveal. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched previous seasons of Strange New Worlds, we find out that Mbenga's like, yeah, I killed the ambassador. I killed Doc Ra, and I enjoyed, and he deserved to die.
Yes, he deserved to die, and I hope he burns in hell. Yes.
He basically did this Samuel L. Jackson this.
Time to die. Time to die.
Because in typical Klingon fashion, when you kill anybody in their family, somebody's got to do the blood oath and get revenge for you. So of course the daughter of Ambassador Doc Ra, who I think that was season 2, where there was
yes,
it was one of the better episodes of season 2, and
Under the Cloak of War.
Yep,
Under the Cloak of War, and we see that Banga and Chapel served as medical people during the war, and and then we find out Banga's just he's freaking a Jason Bourne of the Federation, and and this ambassador comes back, who was one of the generals that were killing all these people, and long story short, this ambiguous thing at the end where they have an altercation and nobody sees what goes on, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh, Obanga's alive and the ambassador's dead, and it's like, who would have done this? And I don't know. He tells Pike, and Pike's like, which it was kind of expected, because you knew it was going to kind of go this way, but it's like, because he was so worried about it in that season 2 episode. Like, we're gonna have to find out what this, and I hope you didn't do what we think you did. And it's like this one, he's like, well, yeah, it's cool. If we escape the zombie planet, your secret's safe with me. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, back to being a strange new world. Like, I think this is, it falls into what we're supposed to be doing. Yes, it's derivative of being a zombie episode, but I mean, what show doesn't have a zombie episode at this point? I mean, come on, it's almost like you need to have that, right? I mean, I think
the Hod brings up a good point, and Benga basically is that meme of Tex from Gundam X holding the gun with the subtitle saying, "I'm a healer," but
yeah,
yes,
yeah, that is true. I mean, so. But but the good thing is because the real reason they went to this is they were on a fetch quest to find a flower to save Pike's girlfriend Batel, because everybody it's the funny thing, she's like the Ava with the battery pack.
Yeah.
Everybody else that got impregnated with the Gorn stuff, they basically had like 2 days and they exploded. She, somehow she's just fighting through it, and she's in the end becomes a human Gorn hybrid, which, ooh, that's cool. So, but Chris, what are your thoughts on episode 3, Shuttle to Kenfori?
It was an enjoyable episode because it was doing its own thing compared to the previous 2 episodes, leaning on other Star Treks.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting to see a continuation to Under the Cloak of War, which was one of the best episodes of season 2.
Same.
And I certainly was not expecting it to happen in a zombie episode.
Right.
And I did not expect this to start as a zombie episode.
Yeah, I know.
Rather, I mean, at the start, I wasn't expecting it, but as it turns out, there were some hints. The title "Shuttle to Kenfori," the phrasing of it is a reference to the Korean zombie movie Train to Busan.
Yes. Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Also, the planet Kenfori is a reference to the actor Ken Foree, who was one of the stars of the original Dawn of the Dead.
Correct.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting.
Pretty cool.
I thought it was the planet of the Kens from Barbie.
that would have been a different type of
nice.
But yeah, it was a well done episode. Dakra's daughter was interesting, and she was a homie by the end. The way she stayed behind, so they could escape.
Today was a good day to die.
Yes, but she chose a horrible way to die.
Boy, did she!
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, she achieved what Worf had tried for how many times?
Yes. I would not want that to be my entry to Global Core. No. Like I got ripped to pieces by zombies.
Yeah, that's not good.
And then, of course, the other element, part of the ongoing arc of Ortegas, that she deliberately violates Una's orders to force the Enterprise to take the action that she wanted to do that Una specifically shot down. So it's like, that's not cool, Ortegas. Don't do that to Una.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah. Yeah, what the hell, dude? I mean, seriously. So bro.
That's it for me on this one.
All right, cool. It was a fundamental Trek episode, man. I actually quite enjoyed it. At this point, this is definitely the best in the season. At this point of watching, the thing though I'm torn on is that I like the previous episode where it kept it ambiguous with what Mbenga did. We all know that he did it, but they kept it ambiguous, and I was wishing they would have kept it that way. But at least Pike is the only one to know, so that's cool, and maybe that'll play into plot lines later on down the road. I love that previous episode so much that it just seemed kind of weird to have it in this episode. But
you mean the one in the season 2?
In season 2, yeah. I should it was
not episode 2.
Not episode 2 of this. But when Mbenga dealt with the Klingon Chancellor, but yeah, man. ambassador. My apologies. But yeah, other than that, I thought it was a solid episode, man. A lot of excitement. You know, it's a zombie episode too, so there's a lot of tropes being thrown in, but the references were cool, and I did like the Klingon woman who was out to get her not so much revenge. It was more of a political move she was doing because she couldn't even stand her father. So I thought that was a nice touch to her character. She was kind of just doing it to be thorough and to get her honor back. So I thought that was a bit of nice reasoning, but ultimately she failed and went out like a gangster. God damn. But yeah, man,
really. It's a bad way to go.
It's a bad way to go, but it's a rough way to go for real. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good ep, and I give it a positive a positive impression. Good stuff.
Cool. Well, next episode is called A Space Adventure Hour. So, Chris, give us the one sentence synopsis of this one, because, man, I can't wait to talk about this one.
Oh, shit.
La'an tests a prototype holodeck with a fictional case only she can solve.
Uh-oh.
Man. So, bro.
Oh,
give us your impression.
I was gonna say Chris go first, but I'll go.
No,
you want me to go? I'm probably the odd man out here, but I wasn't angry at this episode. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And a lot of people say, and this is a far stretch.
You're the 2-man out.
I am the 2-man out.
Exactly.
This is a stretch, but there was a holodeck on the animated series Enterprise. It wasn't called the holodeck, but it was something similar. So it kind of ties into that if you consider that show canon. But yeah, this was too much of a holodeck from Next Gen. They just wanted to have a holodeck episode and a holodeck on board the Enterprise that they're not going to use for the rest of time until the animated series. So it's kind of weird. But to see La'an get to be in this kind of environment was nice. I love it when the cast gets to play other characters. They could have found a different way to do that, to be quite honest, instead of doing a holodeck, but I wasn't mad at it. It was an easy crime to solve. It really was. I mean, halfway through the mystery, it's like, it's probably Spock, and it's not really Spock. And sure enough, it turned out to not be Spock. But this is another one of Chris's favorite pairings, which is Spock and La'an, and how their relationship kind of grows towards the end of the episode. So, yeah, it's a strange ep, but the best part about it are the nods to the original series. And the parody of the series that the actors played on, I thought was cool. Especially the opening of the episode, I thought was fantastic. That's maybe my favorite part, besides the outtakes at the very end. And of course, this is a Jonathan Frakes joint, so I think you actually hear Jonathan Frakes' voice in the episode as the director in the end, right? The highlights to me are the parts that deal with the actual show that's being recorded. I think that's the best part of this episode. And a very clever thing, but yeah, that opening floored me. Other than that, yeah, there's downsides to this episode, but I thought it was fun. So I say it's a little bit above a middle of the road. So anyway, back to you guys.
Chris?
You know what? I straight up enjoyed this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is weird that the holodeck is being tested like a century early. Like, well, it took you that long to figure out the problems.
Yeah.
But the meta humor works. You know, Paul Wesley just like chewing scenery in the most Shatnerian way possible. The fake opening of the show like is hilarious. You know, the actual like fake opening sequence they do.
Yes,
for the show.
So good.
Anson Mount playing a weird version of Gene Roddenberry and Rebecca Romaine being essentially Lucille Ball.
Right.
You know, a nice nod to Lucille Ball's history with Star Trek. I gotta know, why is La'an's costume Carmen Sandiego?
Yes, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
Maybe that's intentional.
Why is that her outfit?
Well, I have a theory on this. I feel that the reason why they do these type of episodes is they get some type of a tax break of bringing out these old costumes from like the 1940s for some reason. Like there must be some type of like thing for like they get, you know, some like historical, I don't know, some historical tax break or something, antique tax break, because it seems like this has just been something that's within Star Trek and a lot of shows. A lot of shows do these silly things too. So, but
yeah, I also was amused by Scotty's, increasingly unbelievable attempts to downplay the severity of the crisis.
Right?
yeah.
And her not buying it.
In the overall just ranking of everything this season, if this had been the one goofy episode, I think people probably would have received it better.
Yeah, I think so.
I agree. I would have received it better. Yeah.
If Wedding Bell Blues had not happened before this, and 4.5 Vulcans had not happened after this, then I think this episode would be thought of more highly by a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm one of those people.
But I enjoyed it.
See, cool.
I did not enjoy the Spock La'an shipping
at
the end, but it's just,
oh man,
they decided to make this a thing and can't do anything about it.
Hey, it's like Worf Troy, man. What a throwback!
You know what? At least it's not as bad as 7 Chakotay.
Oh, oof!
Oh my god,
that's trash.
That's
trash.
Straight up trash.
Ooh.
Why'd you bring that up?
That's rough.
Because I guess we all needed to suffer by remembering that happened.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's yeah, I'm one of those people that Chris describes. I think if this was the one wacky episode, it would have probably be better. But coming after the wacky Spock episode and then all the weirdness with that, the only other issue that I have with it is just the constant theory of like, hey, all those things that you've seen or the storylines that you saw in Treks that chronologically happened after this, but in real life that you saw before this. It actually happened here, and it's like, okay, I get it. I know there was probably a point where they had to test the holodeck, but why do they have to do it on the Enterprise? Like, I don't get it. Like, it's just like, that really gets to me. I'm like, why are we doing this? This is just such lazy writing. You're right though. The show, the Paul Wesley, becoming the Shatner, was great. And, kind of the way of just telling the story of the original series and all the drama that was involved with it, keeping it on the air and things like that. That's a great Easter egg for the true Star Trek fans. But yeah, it gets hurt for the fact that it should have been the only wacky episode this season. So, oh my god. Anything else on this one?
No.
Nah, good to go.
No. Next one. Through the Lens of Time, Chris. The one sentence synopsis.
Chapel Corby's quest leads the Enterprise to ancient ruins hiding a dark secret.
Oh man.
Scary.
So, bro.
Man, the horror.
How scary was it?
The horror episode of the season, man. It was tough, man. I'm not crazy about horror, but this was a solid one. Star Trek is no stranger to these types of episodes. They planted old Dana Gamble into the show just so they could off him in this episode, man. It's like, yo, damn, that's damn.
I thought this kid was going somewhere, and that was so disappointing. Like,
right?
As soon as you see that, he's like, I'm so excited about my first away mission. It's like, oh, it's going to be your last then.
Yeah, right. They even start you off.
Even though you're wearing white.
Just because you're not wearing red.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because you're wearing red doesn't mean you're safe.
That don't mean shit. And they start the episode off with the medic's log.
Because this is still Hollywood and your skin is brown.
So man.
You're gonna go down.
In a horror movie, who's the first
you're
to die?
First one to go down.
Horror movie, who's the first one to die? The black. And technically it was the alien, but yeah, he was the next to go, man. And I don't know why he picked up that fucking orb. As soon as he saw it, I was like, yo, please don't pick that up. Don't. Oh fuck. And then when it took out his eyes,
I feel like in Starfleet Academy, Away Team 101, the very first lesson should be don't pick anything up.
Yeah, true. Not without a fucking
Don't put it up next to your face.
Yeah, right?
I will tell you this, the guys, this makes me laugh. because when I got deployed overseas, we actually had a class about this. Like, if you see shit and you don't pick it up. Like, if it looks weird or it's out of place, don't pick anything up.
It could be an artifact, right?
So,
don't touch anything.
Yeah.
Don't touch anything. Like, you flag it down, get people away from. Like, that's what we were told. Like, if you see something, let people know. Hey, I saw something. Stay away. Let's get some people in there, and then have they can ascertain.
Especially when you're in what's already been established as a death trap dungeon that some dude just got killed in.
Right?
You're like, oh, let me pick up this shiny thing and put it right up in my face.
Yeah.
Like, no.
At least it's an archaeological site too. So at least say, hey, Corby, what the fuck is this? And have him take a look at it. Maybe he's got tools.
Scan it first.
Yeah, scan it.
Scan it with the tricorder.
That's what you got it for. Like, dude.
Exactly.
That's like, man, I hate it.
Indiana Jones wouldn't do this.
No.
I mean, he's gotten people killed at the dig sites, but not because of stupidity.
Because there's plot armor. But that's a conflict for another day. But yeah, man, I thought it was a raw deal what happened to him, but it was also creepy as fuck. They did utilize it in an interesting way with the dimensional demons or whatever the fuck those things were, basically possessing him, and his brain was already his mind was already brain dead. So it's
fucking wait. What were those things? The pawn race from fucking.
Oh shit.
Deep Space Nine, Chris. Yeah, those. Oh my god.
Could very well
I kind of knew he was Dead Man Walking when Manga was like going crazy about him. Like, oh shit, like
he's worried.
So a guy that we know that's not going to die during the whole run of this show is all about somebody. It's like, oh, he's Dead Man Walking. It's like White's not going to protect you today.
Nope. I think the beings were called the Vesda in this the what he picked up and what eventually killed him. But yeah, I did find the riddle of the extra dimensional prison that the rest of them were in. I thought it was pretty interesting what they had to do to get out and how they had to collaborate from the different planes.
It was an escape room.
Yeah,
typical escape room.
It really was. You're not wrong. It absolutely was. That's a perfect fucking description.
I mean that was a management retreat.
Yeah, but yeah, some of the deaths.
This would actually made a good Lower Decks episode. Like the officers had like a retreat.
Yes,
might have made the show better if they had that episode.
Oh man, it was interesting. Ultimately, it's a brutal episode. There's several brutal deaths in the episode, starting with the alien, then Gamble.
Who cares about the alien?
Yeah, and Gamble, and then some of the crew members on the ship itself. The way possessed Gamble killed him. But yeah, it's an interesting episode. I found the adversary in this episode fascinating, and we'll eventually get back to that down the road. But at the time this episode aired, it's like, man, that's some scary shit. It reminds me of Event Horizon, to be quite honest with you. So I thought it was a good episode.
Chris?
I thought this was a good episode until the end.
Oh,
I like the interdimensional puzzle, but I will say, this whole resolution about the Vesda and also Pelia's thing about describing them and everything. The idea of ancient race that is just inherently evil.
Yeah.
Is the antithesis of everything that Star Trek stands for. This is a concept that would fit in better on Doctor Who. True. And I don't mean that as an insult to Doctor Who.
No.
Because that's just the way Doctor Who rolls. It's a different type of show.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about Star Trek is that you're supposed to learn about other alien life forms and understand them and overcome your differences and, eventually have peace with them.
Right.
And then you come out and say, no, but actually there's just this evil race that is just absolutely evil. And it's like, bro.
No redemption.
D&D has spent the last couple of years going through all this turmoil with its fandom of like finally moving away from saying that certain races are inherently evil because, they also are cultural stereotype depictions of humans. And now in 2025, Star Trek is like, no, let's run headlong into that. let's run the opposite of where Hasbro's going.
Yeah. As
So I think that just brings down this is one of the worst ideas on the show of this of an evil species.
Right.
Yeah, when you put it that
And
way,
it really
I didn't
just
even
drags
think
the
about that
episode
way.
down.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And I will carry through this same complaint to the season finale by nature of its story.
Oh, true that.
Yeah. Yeah, because they show up again. So, yeah. I didn't even think about it that way, and that's a great point because you're right. It is the antithesis of what Star Trek has always kind of stood for. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a decent episode. It's very formulaic in a lot of ways, but and the whole weird stuff about Battelle and her Gorn, now she's like a Gorn human hybrid. Nobody else could survive the Gorn eggs, but somehow she did because she's got the ultimate plot armor of being Pike's girlfriend, which it eventually wears off, but it's a magic potion at this point. So, yeah, it's not a bad episode, but it's just, yeah, wow. You made me think about that one, Chris. That's a great point. Yeah. So, I don't know. Anything else on this one?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, that brings us to the next episode, The Salot Who Ate Its Tail. So, Chris, give us that great elevator pitch on this one. What do we got here?
Lieutenant Commander James T. Kirk is thrusted into command of the USS Farragut when a scavenger ship dubbed the Destroyer of Worlds attacks them and captures the USS Enterprise.
So, Chris, what are your thoughts on this one?
I will say overall, this was my favorite episode of the season.
Same.
Yeah.
I think that this was an appropriate use of Kirk, who I will say, as a general complaint, appears too damn much in this season. He appears 4 times. I mean, technically one doesn't count because it's the hologram version, but even if you exclude that, that's 3 appearances. And yes, he did appear in 3 episodes the last season, which again is, too much. But this episode, I think, was appropriate because it showed that he's not quite yet the Kirk we're going to know later, but he's getting there. And he's in a genuine dilemma, and he runs into, that the way he's been doing things does not work in this situation. And, I love when he discusses later, basically I'm a dumbass because I just wanted to, go beam down to this planet, and then these aliens showed up and blew up the planet, and I would have gotten all of us killed.
Yeah.
I liked seeing everybody having to be resourceful, and then just the very downer ending of finding out that these space pirates were humans who had left Earth in the 21st century in the hopes of, doing good and finding another world and whatnot, and somehow just strayed from the path so much that they became these merciless marauders. And I love the conversation at the end between Pike and Kirk, where Pike is telling Kirk, look, man, this is the burden of command that you will have to bear, that your decisions are, going to get people killed.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's something that Kirk will be dealing with soon enough once it's his turn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So bro.
Yeah, man, this is a tough episode, boy. I loved it. The fact from right off the bat, when they figure out a way to separate the crews between the Enterprise and the Farragut, and you have all the characters in the show that would go on to be part of Kirk's crew on the Farragut, was a slick way to go about it. I love the fact that they separated them, and they basically had to work off of next to nothing with the damaged Farragut to rescue the Enterprise. It was a nice use and implementation of these characters, establishing their chemistry between each other. Now, Kirk had already worked with Uhura in a previous episode, and of course, Spock and Kirk, had worked with each other also in previous episodes. But it was neat to see Scotty and Kirk work with each other, and how they kept pushing each other, and how Scotty would push back and then think he couldn't do it. But it gets Scotty riled up, and you see throughout the season, Scotty's kind of finding his parameters and how to work with people, and how to also become the impressive engineer that he becomes. So it was just a nice display of talent in this episode, I thought. And over on the Enterprise, being able to see, I think this is the first time we see Pelia's quarters, right, in this episode. I don't think we've seen it before until now, and it's so cozy, right? It's got all those knickknacks and shit in it, and Atari 2600.
Atari 2600, yeah.
Yeah, phones.
Also, the TARDIS is in this episode.
Right, the TARDIS is in her quarters too. And later on, there's
no, not in her quarters. There's the actual TARDIS itself. Inside the pirate ship.
It's inside the pirate ship. Fix my face. That's right. That leads to something later on down the road that we'll talk about. But I thought overall this episode flowed the best. It had a nice division between the two storylines between the two ships, and of course that gut punch at the end when you find out about this pre-warp crew of scientists from Earth who fell on hard times and had to become the worst of us, basically, in order to survive. That's a horror story in itself, and it's sad that all those people died, but it helps to shape Kirk into the commander that he's going to be down the road. So fascinating episode. I really enjoyed this, and I agree with you, Chris. It's the best of the season.
So at the end, it gives me deja vu of Star Trek Beyond. Because in some ways it's kind of the same, except you don't have the whole like alien kind of like takeover thing.
Yeah.
But I always like these episodes because there's also a standout episode of mine that I like in Voyager, where there's a probe that sits there and ends up doing bad things. I like these things where they end up with an enemy and you find out that it's like the origin is Earth, and it's something from 100, 200 years prior, when going through the galaxy and stuff was just kind of a dream. And you see, okay, what happens at this point? Do these people choose to die? Do they do they become something different just to survive? And that's what we see in this. I mean, quite honestly, in some ways, when I saw them when they board the Enterprise and they're going around murking people, I'm like, wait, they remind me of like kind of the big daddies from Biosphere.
Oh yeah, man.
Or like daddy, heavy armor.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. And then just like in that game, when you find out the shock of what they do with the, what the big daddies are, it's like it's kind of the same thing. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't expecting it, to be honest with you. I really didn't. And then it's like, oh, okay. And this is your classic like moral dilemma, it really highlights the dangers of space, and because it's not just the dangers that were encountered by the current crew, but you find out that people out there, the ones before you, they had to encounter the same type of dangers. And this is probably, outside the zombie episode, the standout episode of the season, because it's just classic Star Trek. It hits it in all cylinders. And I do agree with Chris, there's too much Kirk, but there's nothing we can do about that. It's just what it is. But I think this episode would have worked even if it was like, Lieutenant Commander Smith. I think the fact that it's Kirk, it's got that teachable moment of trying to say like, okay, eventually you're going to have to make these decisions, and we know what decisions he makes. But I think the story is so strong that in a lot of ways you didn't need him, and it might have been better. It might have been better if you didn't have Kirk in this. Like, and that's saying something because it's a really good episode. So, I don't know. I mean, it's like, where was this writing? You know, the prior 5 episodes. Like, oh my gosh. But anything else on this one? It's a lot who ate its tail.
I've come to notice that the 2 episodes that we've really liked so far, episodes 3 and this episode, are both in part written by Bill Wolkoff, who is one of the, of course, staff writers on the show. So yeah, I have to pay attention to other episodes that he's written throughout the series.
Well, it's maybe that, and they're just actually episodic episodes. Like,
yeah,
they're just so self-contained. Like, there's no other stuff that we have to. There's no ties to any other prior Star Trek episode or show. There's nothing we need to know. There's, no wackiness with shipping and all this other stuff. It's just a straight up sci-fi episode. Like, it's
true,
straight up science fiction. So, but next one here. What is Starfleet?
Here we go.
Chris, what is it in one sentence?
While aiding a war-torn planet, Pike and crew face scrutiny from a probing journalist.
Oh, who's that journalist? Is it Parker? I don't know.
Yes.
So, Chris, what are your thoughts on what is Starfleet? What is it? Tell us. Peacekeeping? Is it war?
Starfleet.
And what is this?
Well, I'll tell you what this is. This is a bad episode.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Oh my.
Is that the subtitle? What is Star Trek? Yes. What is a bad episode?
This episode was just ill-conceived in every respect.
Yeah.
When at the beginning of the season, when they introduced Ortegas's brother Beto, and mentioned that he is like embedding with the Enterprise to do a documentary about Starfleet, what I thought this episode would be is showing us unseen perspectives from the different episodes that he featured in, where he's already doing this job.
Oh, that would have been dope.
But instead, the episode is an entirely different story that has nothing to do with any of these other things that he was present for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn, they missed an opportunity.
So right off
there.
the bat, that's like, a poor choice.
Yeah.
2, he is just the worst documentarian because he has terrible camera angles, sneaking around recording like classified conversations with Starfleet Command, putting the camera in people's faces. It's like this is like 21st century level embarrassing if a high schooler did this and you're like a pro doing this for Starfleet. It's like, as we say, que pena. It's just bad. And also, like, he's coming in with an inherently biased perspective because he's Ortegas's brother and he's anti-Starfleet. So, like, why did Starfleet?
Why would they hire him?
Hire him to do this? It doesn't make any sense. Then you get to the actual conflict of you have these 2 non-member worlds fighting, and one of them is like seemingly massively like maybe genociding the other.
Yeah.
And Starfleet has agreed to help the side that's getting his ass whooped transfer a living sentient creature that can be used as a weapon. And it's like none of this concept makes any sense at all. This is terrible. Starfleet looks awful here. Nothing makes any sense about this episode.
Yeah, it kind of violates everything Starfleet has always been brought up to us. The fact that you would take a being and just make it into a weapon of war, like not within its, outside of its wishes, is just nuts. Like, it's a very weird episode, and
that Pike and his crew object to this, and Starfleet is just the whole time like, just shut up and do it. Shut up and do the mission. Like, why is Starfleet pushing this mission on them so hard?
that very obviously goes against all of their principles. Like I feel like there's a lot that was missing
Yes.
from this episode, and I wonder if this was trying to relate to some real world events, and that got pulled back at some point, because this is also the shortest episode of the season at only 40 minutes.
Man.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that. Wow. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because it does make Pike and the crew of like, we're just following orders. Like it's the classic, it's the classic war crimes defense. I was just following orders, and yeah, didn't realize that. Wow. Okay. Wow. 40 minutes. That's real short.
Yeah, but that's shorter than Old School.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I didn't realize that while watching this. If anything, I was just glad it was over.
Yeah, I was. You had the same feeling. I was like,
yeah, man.
Wow, like another wasted episode. Thanks, guys. In a point where you could have just reused the concept from a prior Star Trek and use it instead of this, they gave us this.
Yeah,
like it. In the crap at the end where it's like, he's like, well, Starfleet, they'll say things, but really what Starfleet is the people. And it's like, oh, really? They up until a certain point, they were agreeing to like do things that were just outside of what Star Trek proclaims itself to be. Like, it's weird. I don't know. It's a bad episode. So maybe the worst.
I personally like the idea that to see Starfleet in not at its best is an interesting premise, right? But the way this episode was executed was just terrible. There were better. There's a better example of this, and that's in Lower Decks. They had a documentary episode in that show too, and although it's played more as a mockumentary, it still gets its point across. And I thought that was a much better way to go about it. In this episode, I expected it to be more serious, which it was. It just felt clunky, man. It didn't flow very well. They found reasons to just lean into the premise of this, the conceit of this episode, but it didn't do it very well. And I can't stop thinking about what Chris came up with, which is like taking elements of previous episodes where Beto may have not been in the episode, but he was around and seeing shit from unseen angles, and maybe a thread of a story draping across all those episodes to come to a head in this episode would have been the dopest shit ever. But I don't know why they didn't go about this. Maybe they were just trying to, as Chris mentioned, they were trying to make a comparison to a real world political situation or something like that they didn't execute very well. And at the end of the day, this episode just falls very hollow, man. It's not a good episode. It might be it's actually not the worst episode of the season for me. We're about to get into that next. But
oh yeah, it's these two are they're up there.
The best thing in this episode to me is maybe the stuff with Ortegas and her brother. I thought that was pretty interesting because we got to learn more about her in that moment, but it still didn't just work well. I hated the stuff with Uhura and Beto. That shit got on my last nerve. But ultimately,
You know what the best thing is about this episode?
What's up?
It ends.
Is that it's not the next episode.
Oh shit! Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's all I got to say. I agree.
You know what would have made would have made this a better episode?
What's that?
If they were actually member worlds, like the fact that they're non-member worlds, it's like, why would you even be? It completely. I mean, it even goes against. Like, I know the Prime Directive is just whatever people feel it is on the star date they believe it to be on, but it just, why would they care about this? Like, these are two non-member worlds. They apparently there's no there's no overture that one of them wants to become part of the Federation, so why would they care?
Yeah, I mean, it gets brought up in the episode.
Why would you go through all this?
Yeah,
it does, and it just. I mean, I think actually, if you were going to make it more like, oh, what is actually Starfleet, then you can just bring up the whole thing of like, oh, these are two member worlds. going through this, and this shit got like out of control. You know, that's what's always made the whole intrigue of Section 31, even though there's been issues where it's been not executed properly. But the idea of like, this is Starfleet, but then they have this super secret thing that's there to, disrupt worlds and things like that.
Yeah. I think the only reason why they're not member worlds is because they're at civil war against each other. So that
it doesn't matter. But the fact that I think I'm just saying what would have made the stakes better for it is because even the fact of like the Enterprise crew is like, we don't want to do this. It's like it runs hollow, because it would have been more. You could have had more of like, I'm not always for exposition, but you could have had a great thing of like, what is this? Why are we doing this? These two these two planets, they're doing this. They're part of our thing, and we're picking sides, and like that. I think is got, if you're gonna go for this whole like, what is right, what is wrong, what should a benevolent entity or organization do, it'd have made more sense. But I mean, like Chris said though, the best thing about this episode is not the next episode.
Oh boy, so, good times.
Anything on this episode? What is Starfleet?
Nope.
And he's not Ken Burns. He's definitely not Ken Burns as a documentarian. So
he's not even like the annoying guy from your college film studies class.
Oh god,
yeah, true that.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, actually, Orson Welles did, that guy is a better filmmaker.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right.
Here we go.
Yep. You guys ready?
Strap in.
4.5 Vulcans, which is, I guess it's a play of, 2.5 Men? Maybe? I don't know. Chris, can you give us the one-sentence synopsis of this thing that happened?
After a mission turns crew members into Vulcans, trouble arises when they try to revert to human.
All right, which one of you wants to do this first?
Oh shit. I'll go. I'll get mine out the way.
Yeah,
this is the episode.
They're probably going to be the nicest on this. So.
Yeah, might be. This episode is the one they previewed to us first. I want to say it was Comic-Con 2 years ago. They showed this a clip of this to us. It might have been the first episode.
I think it was Comic-Con this year.
No, it was 2 years.
It was last year.
It was 2 years ago.
Last year.
Yeah.
And no, it was last year.
No, it was last year.
Oh, it was last year? Oh, wow. Yeah. My bad.
I thought it was sooner than that. Yeah.
I thought it was
2 years ago.
Well,
no, it wasn't made 2 years ago. Think about it.
Oh yeah, fair point. Yeah, you're right. It was last year. And we were thinking at the time it was going to air soon, and of course it didn't. But it definitely wasn't worth the wait. This episode was just not. It just didn't work for me at all. I hated how their whole personalities changed when they became Vulcan. They became racist as fuck. I was like, Spock was like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? It was absurd from start to finish, man. And not even Patton Oswalt could save this. Not even he could save it, man. He usually comes in and does a great job, but it was just a tough ep, man. I hated that. I did like that they brought up Romulans in this episode and reminded us that there's two people on board that know what Romulans really look like, and that's La'an and Pike from their separate experiences in I want to say other timelines. They found that out, but of course they had to keep it quiet. But La'an just turned into this full-on supervillain. Everybody. Freaking Chapel ends up being just this ice princess and just unfriending everybody. And it's like, come on, man, this is ridiculous. I know it's supposed to be a palate cleanser episode and a tongue in cheek throughout the whole thing, but it's just stuff that is lacking common sense. I will admit a little bit that I liked number one. I liked her backstory with Doug, but
I hated that.
You hated that?
That
was the worst.
I'll elaborate on that.
Cool. I'll let you do that.
You like
but
that?
I liked it because it painted her in a slightly different light, and I like when you see shades of number one that you don't normally get to see otherwise. But it kind of turned her into a little fangirl of his too, which was not great. But I like to see the softer side of her when the show allows for it. So maybe that's why I liked it. But yeah, ultimately, this episode was just it was a pain to sit through. To see what Corby was going through too, which sucked. It was nuts. I'll throw it back to you guys.
He ends up becoming like a mass murderer too, right, or something like that.
Oh, Corby?
Yeah, he what does he end up in TOS? He's like nuts. He's nutso, right?
I think he transitions his consciousness into an artificial body, and is doing that to other people as well, because he wants to find immortality one way or the other, and he finds it by making himself an artificial body, basically. And wants to do the same to I want to say Chapel, yeah. So yeah, it's a wild episode. But back to you guys.
I'll hit my stuff, Chris, because I think you got much to say on this.
Oh, Chris got the gun.
Yeah, I'm a little scared. But yeah, when I saw this thing a year ago, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was just, it's like when you watch movie trailers and you never see that scene actually happen in the movie. I was kind of hoping this wouldn't happen. Yeah, this shit's dumb. Like it's just.
Oh no!
It's in some ways it's the wacky Spock episode part 2.
Oh yeah.
You're right. It's wacky, like mean and bullying episode of Spock, and it's like, we know in past, things of Star Trek that he's always had to deal with the fact that he's half human. This shit didn't make any sense, and I just can't believe that you would transform people and then you have a problem with trying to transform them back, and it's. Once again, for just limited episodes, we're just wasting it on nonsense, and it's just it's garbage. It's really just it's doo doo on the extreme level of doo doo.
Oh my!
It's bad. It's really just so. Like you said, the whole thing of just the racism in this, which once again just violates everything that Star Trek has always been about. And
Vulcans are slightly supremacist. I get that, but man, it was a whole new level in this episode. Jesus Christ!
But do we really need to go down that route again?
No.
Like, do we really need to do this? And okay, so. I mean, what's the cool thing? Oh, Pike becomes like a freaking OCD crazy dude. Like,
and they never change their outfits. They except they go into Vulcan garb and they stay in Vulcan garb the whole episode. It's like, you're the captain of the ship. You kind of have to be in uniform, brother. What are you doing?
Right. And why didn't they relieve him?
What?
Like whoever was acting captain after him and I mean, number one, it's just I don't know. It's just a piece of doo doo. So that's all I can say. It's 4.5 doo doos instead of 4.5 Vulcans. So
honorary anime toilet.
Actually, I think there's better things in the anime toilet than this. So
damn.
Yeah, this is garbage.
All right then.
I mean the only thing at the end is what Captain freaking Gorn hybrid gets a promotion, because that makes sense. Yeah. Somebody that's got like a deadly enemy fused to her. Let's just give her a promotion on something. I'm surprised they should have just put her on the medical planet with Sven. I mean, you think that'd be the best thing to do?
Oh, shit.
But I don't know. But Chris, just unload like you want to. So
this is the worst episode of Strange New Worlds, without a doubt. Mm-hmm. And it ranks among the worst of Star Trek episodes.
Ooh.
And I don't mean worst like threshold where it's so bad it comes back around to being good. I mean bad like Code of Honor bad.
Oh shit. Oh wow, you invoked those words, huh?
God Code of Honor. That's the one with the African nation planet and thing. Oh
yeah, absolutely. Next gen.
Yep. I would watch Threshold over and over again before I'd watch this shit again. Because you're right, Threshold is so stupid in the end that it does go. I mean, after the years, it does go into that thing. It's like it's kind of charming in its weird, stupid way.
Yeah, there's all sorts of dumb episodes that come out, like on TNG, Sub Rosa, Crusher, and her sex ghost candle. Like it's just so fucking dumb that it becomes enjoyable. This is just offensive.
Ooh.
It is racist.
Yep.
It is ableist. It is just an awful episode from top to bottom. The bullshit explanation for how, the 4 people absorbed Spock's like logic through his DNA. It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah,
it's
that
so
would
dumb.
never have worked the way that they're talking about. They all turned into racist, horrible people that damages all of their characters, but I think most La'an, because her whole arc up to now has been that she feels the shame of having the name Noonien Singh and thinking that she's potentially a monster because of her genetic background being the descendant of an augment, and she goes through all these storylines and people trying to be like, no, you are who you are, and your DNA is not destiny. And then this episode literally says, no, wait, it is, because her evil augment DNA somehow turned her into a Romulan, and she immediately starts planning war.
Yeah, right, man.
Let me ask you this, Chris. Why would they even need his DNA? Because I remember an episode in TOS where Kirk goes as a Romulan, but they just do a cosmetic change. They do basically...
Well, they said at the beginning that there's DNA scanners, so they need to present...
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but still...
That they need to present as fully Vulcan. So, and they had Spock's DNA from that the Wacky Spock episode in Season 2 where he turned fully human.
Yep.
Yeah, this is picking up on that thread.
Yep.
Should have been left
Pike
alone.
is this, like... I don't know, like...
OCD weirdo.
ADHD weirdo. And why does he talk like David Lynch? Right? I have never heard of a Vulcan that talks like David Lynch.
Yeah.
I don't get that. Chapel is just like a jerk and starts ghosting everybody and ending every relationship so she can focus on work.
Mm-hmm.
Uhura gaslights and manipulates Beto into changing his behavior, and Pike embarrasses Batel by dressing her down in front of the Vulcan Admiral. And in the end, despite doing all of these horrible things, nobody is held responsible for that. Like if they were just drunk or something, it just doesn't make any sense at all. And let me get to the thing about and Doug.
Oh, here we go.
I hated every second of this because what they're basically it's a joke at Patton Oswalt's expense.
Yeah.
It's a joke at the expense of why
did they bring him in?
Because what they're really saying is, look how funny it is that Una is so fucking thirsty for this guy Doug, because we all know in real life that some fat ugly dude like that could never land somebody that beautiful. Isn't this hilarious?
Yo, damn. I can't fucking beat that.
Yeah, it's and that shit's been done over and over, and
the mismatched couple. Yeah,
it's just,
this feels like something from Rick Berman era Trek something very bro-y, something very punching. This whole episode is punching down, but this especially is punching down. And
you said it before, Seven and Chakotay, I mean, who would do that? Like, that would never happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's just the whole episode. This episode is an abomination.
Damn.
and
Good shit.
and the fact that you would use this as like your Comic-Con thing or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Why would you do this? Like, you have, I mean, there's other bad episodes you could have done. Why wouldn't you done? I mean, the freaking zombie one. I mean, whatever. Because everybody loves zombies and the good zombie film, but yeah, you just these are the ones where you're like, who? Nobody were people that afraid to lose their jobs by saying, why are we doing this? Like, this is just stupid. Like, what other storylines or what other scripts did we like bypass because of this? Like, I mean, it's bad, man. Like, it really is bad. And
yeah, it's a tough
say this is the single worst episode.
Yeah, I agree
Modern
with you.
Trek.
I have a question. Did you guys know about the bloopers after the credits on this one?
I don't care.
I didn't know about them until after the fact. I was watching Trek Culture and they said, "Oh, there's bloopers after the episode." I was like, "Oh shit, I couldn't get it off fast enough." Turn this off.
Yes, I watched it.
I went back and watched them too.
So Chris, this is worse than Spock's brain. It has to be, right?
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
as bad as that episode is,
Son.
I mean, I know you said modern Trek, but is this worse than Spock's brain?
Spock's brain.
Which is
Yes, because that's just a dumb episode.
Yeah.
This is like a racist
horrible.
episode that
Yeah.
embraces like weird biological essentialism. This is just an awful
Weird
piece
thing.
of writing in every respect that has no redeeming features at all.
Yeah, so they took the premise. They took the premise from. Go ahead.
So you're saying Dana Horgan and Henry Alonzo Myers should not have to? They should not be allowed to write anything, at least in Star Trek, ever again, because they're responsible for this.
I think Myers is the showrunner.
Well, Henry Alonzo Myers is the co-showrunner,
Yeah.
so he
Good luck with
needs
that.
to maybe go to Trek timeout for a little bit.
sensitivity camp or something, or like, I mean, yeah, I didn't realize that, but ugh.
Yeah, tough times, man. It's definitely a dark moment. In the run of the show, every Trek series has a turkey. This is it. This is definitely it.
This one is pretty bad as far as turkeys go.
Fair point,
Dude,
but
this
yeah.
is
Like
I
can't
a turkey
really
that
think
got hit on the freeway.
of any individual like Voyager episode that is just so offensive that it's like, man, this is just fucking awful.
Yeah,
and that's saying something, because there's a lot of shit in
when you were
like, I mean, like we said, Threshold alone, the fact that one is just, I mean, there's so many things wrong with that, and I would rather watch that than this, because this is, it's just not good, man. Like, and it's weird. Why would you greenlight this? Like, how did this make? Because
That's a question you could ask about a lot of this season.
Yeah,
Look, man.
It's the overarching theme in this season. It's like,
when you invoked the words "code of honor," I knew where you were going.
and actually, this might be worse than Code of Honor.
God damn,
in
that's a
some
bad
ways.
Oof.
And Code of Honor is really bad.
That's a tough ass out, boy.
That is, woo, man.
I cannot do it, Captain. I cannot do it.
That's the song of the South of Star Trek
Yes!
in some way.
Yes!
I mean, if David Zaslow wasn't all about shareholder value and stakeholders, he probably, if he had some semblance of like any type of like ethics, he might have put that in the freaking the lockbox, like along with Doan's Island and the freaking Star Wars Christmas episode. So
wow.
Yeah, this is a giant piece of shit. I think we all agree, right?
We're all in unison.
Yeah, the giant piece of crap. So, anything else on 4.5 freaking discrimination lawsuits. I mean,
well, for the HUD says 4.5 flushes, and yeah, this is definitely a tough sit. So
that shit would clog the toilet.
Yeah, I will not be revisiting this. That's for sure.
Oh God, no.
Yeah,
God, no. Well, next one here. This is episode 9. We got one more after this. It's called Terrarium, or what would be Enemy Mine if it was in Star Trek. So, Chris,
which was already an episode of TNG when Geordi is trapped on a moon with a Romulan.
Correct.
Yeah. So, Chris, why don't you give us that good old-fashioned one-sentence synopsis? Actually, I think this might be a thing that we need for future Gundams. One-sentence episode synopsis.
It'll save a lot of time.
It's a good format.
It saves a lot of time.
It's a good format. I dig it.
Yeah.
Stranded on a toxic moon, Ortegas must defy her deepest beliefs to survive.
I guess it's better than being stranded on that toxic ship from the previous episode.
Right?
Jeez. Okay. Solbro, what do you think here? There was no... it put us back to the 1980s, huh? When I watched this, I was like,
I love
this show before.
Yeah,
I've seen this before.
I love a good stranded episode, going all the way back to like original Star Trek. There's several in that series too. One of them heavily referenced in this one. We'll get to that. I thought,
unfortunately,
yeah, unfortunately, it's might be the thing I like least about this episode, to be quite honest with you. But I did enjoy this episode. Ortega's finally got her own ep, so I thought that was great. And it was cool to see Uhura also campaigning for her, even at the ship's detriment. I thought that was foolish of her to kind of put the whole ship at risk for Ortegas.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Star Trek if you just put the whole ship for risk for one of the named characters.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
But I love the fact that Pike knew it. I'm glad Pike's not a fool. He recognized it, but he knew she was operating off of feelings and instinct as opposed to logic and common sense. But he's also wired like that too. So I overall enjoyed this episode. I thought that the relationship between the Gorn and Ortegas was fantastic. You'd think that this Gorn would have been as vicious as the other ones, but this Gorn had been there alone for so long. To have anyone there as someone to communicate with was great. You found out that the Gorn communicate.
Hurt leg, man.
Yeah,
hurt leg too.
Hurt leg too. To find out that the Gorn can already understand what humans are thinking already was an interesting aspect there. And I'm not sure because I've only seen most of the Gorn I've seen besides Arena, the original TOS episode, is the jokes in the Lower Decks and in this show. So I can't speak for Enterprise and their appearances in that. You guys would probably be able to talk more about that. But I
they
thought...
were just CG lizards, and it's
oh wow,
it's very much a non-event.
Oh, that's a shame. But I like the back and forth between Ortegas and the Gorn, and you could predict the ending when it comes to how the Gorn would decide to go out, because she would have no place in Gorn society. She wouldn't be able to go back, and she'd be stuck living amongst humans. So she knew humans would attack her off of instinct if she appeared to be attacking Ortegas, and it's a sad ending, but a one you can kind of see coming. It's the whole connection to Arena though that got me, man. It's like, what are you guys doing? This wasn't even necessary. If you wanted to make it so that the Metrons were there observing, that's cool, and no one knew the wiser, that's fine. But Ortegas being able to see that and figure that out, and then have a conversation with the Metron, only for it to be wiped from her memory, it's like, what the fuck was the point of this? Like, really, what was the point? Like, I get you would just want to have a connection to that episode, and that it's foreshadowing for that episode later on. But it's like, I don't know, man. This just seems like fan service, and that's it. And I don't.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
Right.
And it's lazy writing of like, it's like, oh, we know they have to over-explain the fact that nobody knew in the original show what the Gorn was, and it's like, just make them classified.
Yeah, most of the people watching this
just make it super Just make it where it's like, you can't talk about this.
Yeah,
it's super classified. Like pretty much probably what they did to Archer in them after they encountered the Borg. It's like, oh yeah, you had this thing. Yeah, it's super classified. Like you can never talk about this ever again. And then that's why nobody else knows it. So it's like, it's so unnecessary. And if there was an episode that should have been shorter, this would have been one of the ones, because it would have made it 10 times better.
Yeah, absolutely. You could,
because it's doo doo. This whole thing is doo doo.
If you omitted this from the episode, I think it would have been a much solid entry into the season.
One of the top ones.
It didn't ruin the episode for me. I'll be first to say that, because I was just overjoyed to have a Ortega's episode, because I've been wanting this for the last 2 seasons and didn't get it. So the fact that she had a focus episode was cool, and I love her character, and it's one of the few characters we don't know the overall fate of. So it kind of had me hanging on the edge to find out what would happen in this episode. You know, I'm glad she survived. That's cool, but it also makes me wonder, when is her time coming? How she leaves the ship? All these unanswered questions are still going on into the next season. So. But I enjoyed it overall. That's just the connection to Arena. I just thought it was shallow, ultimately, and was not needed. Other than that,
over-explaining something that doesn't need to be explained.
I'll throw it back to you guys, but I thought it was good overall, save for that part.
Chris?
I would say this is 90% of a great episode.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a shame that they especially this season, you see this really overall being a problem, that they are falling into these prequelitis traps.
Yeah.
They just feel the need to excessively connect everything to the earlier shows, or in this case, the later events. And it's like, just fucking stop. Like, stop doing this. You started by showing us this like unseen era of Trek history, of the voyages of Pike and everyone, and now it's like you just can't help but be not TOS, but TOS.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how you make this episode better? Sorry, go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, the concept is old. It's been done in Enemy Mine. It's been done on Star Trek before, but it's still a compelling concept.
Yes.
It's a great tour de force for Melissa Navia. We get some development for Ortegas. People have been wanting since season 1. We get the resolution of her like Gorn PTSD arc. And I enjoyed the episode literally just until the last couple of minutes when the Metron showed up and is like, oh, we were just running this experiment. I guess we'll have to run it again in the future. The future being, like 5 years from now.
Right.
It's just like, why did we need to do this? Like, yes, there have been lots of complaints about the way Strange New World depicts the Gorn, and I wish they had gone ultimately in the direction of saying, like, yeah, these particular Gorn that you're seeing are like a subspecies or a different, species that are like tied in from the ones that you see in TOS, because there's just a lot that doesn't add up, and that's the path they could have taken, and that could have avoided some of the pitfalls of what we see in Arena. But instead they're like, oh, let's just have these same aliens. It's like, no, it's just ill-conceived choice yet again.
Yeah.
Well, they fell into the Voyager trap, like what they did with the Borg. It's like, okay, there comes a point where you start bringing them back and it doesn't have that shock value anymore. I think, you do the thing in Hegemony Part 2, and then you don't go back to them. Like, maybe it makes sense just not to go back to them. But it's just, why? And Chris, you said it's a 90% a good show. You want to make it a 95% good show? You take out that shit with the Metrons, and you just have a thing where Pike or Ortegas are on a VTC with Admiral April and says, okay, you guys, the two of you know about this thing with the Gorn. You are not to ever talk about this ever again. The upper things of Starfleet know about this. We will take care of it. If you ever do this, you will lose everything on it and go from there. And you don't need anything else, because there you serve your purpose of why doesn't Kirk know about it? Because sometimes there's things even for somebody like Kirk, who is like just so hooked into everything, doesn't need to know. So there you go. I mean, it's just, why do you do this? And I mean, I don't know. Anything else on this one?
Nah, almost had him. Almost got him.
All right. So, the last episode of season 3 of Strange New Worlds. New life and new civilizations. Where have we heard that before? I think that's something we've heard before. Maybe, I don't know.
I have no idea.
People have said that. I've heard a couple people say that before. So, Chris, give us the last one-sentence synopsis or summary of episode 3 or season 3. Sorry.
Whoops! They don't have one. It's completely blank.
You make your own.
The crew of the Enterprise encounters a terrifying threat, and one crew member will make a choice that will change lives in the future and the past.
A malevolent evil returns to the Enterprise. We don't know. We don't fucking know how, but he returns.
The crew of the Enterprise encounter a demon from the past, and one of the crew has to make the ultimate sacrifice. So,
all right.
So, bro, what do you think of episode 10, New Life and New Civilizations? Jazz hands. The Jazz hands episode.
This, man, it is the weakest of the season finales by far. I've got to say. And it doesn't even really tie into the next season, which the first 2 season finales do. They tie in to the next season. But at least to some degree. Well, no, I take that back. The first season didn't, but it kind of left the premise open that the show ran on season 2, so that was good. But season 2's ending did transition into season 3, which I thought was cool, and I thought this would also kind of tee things up for season 4. It didn't. It just brought back old storyline and unfinished storyline from episode 5, with Gamble, the possessed Gamble. At this time, he manages to escape from the transportation pattern buffer in a reconstruction of the original Gamble's body, and then goes to that planet that Corby is trying to find. He's trying to find links to the other planet from episode 5, basically on this planet, only to re-encounter Gamble and get caught up in this mess again. It was okay. I did like the circular situation with Batel, although it's kind of weak at the same time, because that's what you were saving her for this whole time. Like, I as much as I'm not crazy about killing off characters, I know it's a necessary evil for shows, and I think she should have died in episode 1 of this season. To do this circular loop where it turns out that she is the very reason why the Vesda are imprisoned, and that she was that statue that we saw in episode 5 of this season, only for it to come around and then to take us into this warmed over version of the Inner Light from TNG with her and Pike. I thought it was a cool resolution for those 2 characters to go through that journey, but at the same time, I could not help but think of the Inner Light, which is executed far better than to squeeze this into this episode. It's ultimately building up to the final climax between Gamble and Patel. This whole episode seemed like an excuse to do their own rendition of the Inner Light instead of kind of having a more organic way to do that, right? I loved the scenes inside that world, but I already knew what was going on as soon as it started. It's just ultimately, I don't think it was just executed well, but I enjoyed it for what it was, I guess. I'll let you guys go into it more, but I'm a mixed bag on this episode. Half in, half out.
Chris?
Oh, I'm all in on this being a bad episode.
Oh shit! Oh, by all means.
So, the Battelle storyline, I hated the whole idea of it. I feel like for most of this series that these writers just did not know what to do with her, especially this season, like just having her be sick the whole time and the treatments aren't working and they kind of keep doing more stuff to her, and she goes from being the captain of a Constitution class starship, which is, you know, a prestige assignment in Starfleet, to just being Pike's girlfriend who hangs around in his room.
Damn.
Like, I feel like they really destroyed her character, and this whole resolution of, like, she has to become the statue in the past that imprisons the Vesda, and this is her destiny. It really feels like they essentially fridged her.
Yeah.
For Pike's man pain.
Ultimately.
And it's like, we're still, it's 2025 and we're still fridging female characters to make men sad.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So I hated the entire resolution. I think that it was a waste. I don't see any redeeming qualities to it, you know. And then this whole extended sequence of like, oh, we're speed running the Inner Light. Let's just do another cheap ripoff of something that was better done in a previous Trek series, and would have it be hollow and with like really no weight. You know, I like the performances of Anson Mount and Melanie Scarfano. They were great in terms of like playing out Pike and Battelle's alternate life. But, you know, what I really wanted to see that we never got in this series that they cheat us of now that she's gone is I always wanted to know, like, if he was going to tell her about his future or not.
Oh, true.
And it happened in this inner light inner light, but
he never says it in in real life.
He never says it in like actual reality.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was a cheat,
man.
Because I wanted to see like how would their relationship deal with this of like, hey, you can't tell anybody that this is going to happen to me, and you know, I will become this like disabled man who can only do beep boops, and we will never be able to be like we are again. And that was just, I think, a really big missed opportunity. Again, carrying forward all my complaints about Vesda, I don't like the idea of an inherently evil species in Star Trek. I don't think Kirk was necessary at all in this episode. He also wasn't necessary in 4.5 Vulcans.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I hate that they had him and Spock mind meld, because it's a short circuit to the development of them being close friends.
Yo, wow, way to point that out. Good shit. Damn.
Yeah.
Man.
Because instead of just their relationship developing organically, now it's like, oh, they're close because they mind melded, and you know, they saw her. It's like,
ouch. Man.
Yeah, that's.
So I hate that. That was not needed. It's just a lot of weird things in this episode don't make sense. So like, both ships are firing their phasers at this monolith on the planet to force the door open, and everybody's just standing there around it. Like, I would think that like the heat and energy that come from 2 starship phasers would be something that you don't want to stand around,
right?
But everybody's standing like 2 feet from it, and it's like, what the fuck are, like, what is going on here?
You think it would have cleared everybody up?
It should be melted. Like, those people like should have all melted,
right?
I think. Yeah, you know, it just, and then like the whole, like when Battelle's like, oh, I started to feel like I just didn't fit in anywhere. It's like, you were just talking 2 episodes ago about how working in the JAG was like your dream job now, because you know that you can't go back to starship duty. So it's like, well, where did that go? Like, none of the developments with Battelle track for me across this season. Like, I think they thought that it was very clever the way that they were putting all these breadcrumbs of all these things that happened to her and building up to this, and I think it's just shit, and it's not good the way that they seem to think that it was. And this is just really bad quality writing. This is bad character development, and it was a huge disservice to Patel. I think it ruins the character.
Man. That's...
Yeah, because you're right. It goes back to something you would seen like 20 years ago, with her just giving up everything. I mean, you're right. She was a captain of a Constitution class starship. Like that's the upper echelon of Starfleet, and then she's just acting like a college sophomore, hiding out in her boyfriend's dorm room for most of the season here. I mean, it's basically what she felt like.
Yeah.
And I mean, the only thing that I felt good with this is showing them the life they could have had. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you could have taken that and made a better story around it. Like, I think to really make that work, maybe that's when he tells her about what his fate is. And maybe they deal with some type of other alien that, I don't know, shows them the world of what if. But I'm with you with these Bethesda things. It's just, this is one of those episodes you just sit there and watch, and you're just like, okay, when's this gonna end? Like, it's the one you keep hitting like the counter. It's like, oh shit, there's still. That was only 5 minutes. I thought that felt longer. Like it's still got 31 minutes left. I mean, come on. Yeah, it's just bad. Anything else on this one?
Man, I did have a question. What did you think about? We discussed this behind the scenes last episode, but what are your open thoughts about what Pelia was alluding to with a possible connection to Doctor Who? I know you stressed to me that a crossover is highly unlikely, given the bureaucracy is going to have to go through to happen. But what do you think about that mention?
Who, Chris? Or
I feel like
Chris.
I feel like having the TARDIS in the background was like amusing, and this was just like going a little too far.
Oh man, it did seem a little ham-fisted. I will say that.
It's just a little too much. Like, oh, traveling. It's like really.
Yeah, it's just it's a nod, I guess, to Doctor Who fans, but it's still.
If you want to throw Easter eggs here and there, that's one thing, because for instance, it's well known that ILM threw a little Millennium Falcon into First Contact during the Borg battle.
Sure did.
Yeah.
But is there a deeper significance there? No,
not really.
It's just them being goofy. Yeah.
Lucasfilm added hieroglyphic R2 and 3PO into the Well of Souls map room in Razor of the Lost Ark.
Hell,
why? Because it's just a fun gag. They had a Club Obi-Wan be the setting of the opening scene of Temple of Doom.
Yep.
What's the meaning there? It's just a fun thing. So like if we had been doing that kind of stuff, I'm fine with that. But it feels like it's just pandering.
Yeah, this teasing and everything doesn't have to be some significance of something greater or something that potentially can go down the route, because like you said, Chris, they've been doing this in movies and stuff for decades. So
yeah, man, rough
I
stuff.
will say, Doctor Who recently made a reference to Star Trek, kind of like maybe kicking this whole thing off. In the previous season, one of the companions Shruti got was 15th Doctor. She says something, oh, you mean like Star Trek or something? And he makes this comment like, oh, we gotta go visit them someday. And in that case, it was like a fun, cheeky little throwaway comment, and because they've made references before, so it's like Star Trek exists as a fictional thing in Doctor Who, so like the suggestion that it's something that they could actually
go to
visit is not like a serious kind of thing. This just seems like it just rubs me the wrong way.
I see. No, because I know you're the most knowledgeable about Doctor Who on the show here, so I thought I'd ask. But yeah, it was a little weird. But yeah, I don't have much else to say about this episode. Rough season overall. Rough.
Yeah.
Rough stuff, man.
Well, I guess that'll bring us to our rating for the overall rough season.
God damn.
As you say it. So,
I got some closing comments on the season.
Oh, let's go.
Before we do that.
Let it rip.
Well, closing comments.
I'm gonna say this is the most uneven season of modern Trek, even more so than season 2 of Picard.
Oh shit. That's
you might be right on that one.
Yeah.
Like season 2 of Picard had some good ideas and was essentially like maybe 4 or 5 episode storyline stretched out to 10 episodes, and that's where they went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Season 3 of Strange New Worlds, it's just a lot of peaks and valleys, and it just seems like there was just a lot of poor decisions made throughout the season of let's be too goofy, let's tie into TOS a lot, let's just grab all these ideas from other Star Trek shows. Like you see these recurring problems over and over again, and it's like, where was the showrunner, to step in and be like, maybe we need to pull back from this. Unfortunately, Henry Alonzo Myers, the co-showrunner, was there being part of the problem. So I think, you needed to have someone like a Michael Piller or an Ira Bear, like reeling in and having a stronger hand with the development of the scripts and be like, these are dumb ideas. We're not doing these things. We've already done this too many times. We're not going to do this again. We're not going to use Kirk so many times. We're not going to have so many goofy episodes. Like, it just feels like a very self-indulgent season on behalf of the writers.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to use Kirk, find more compelling reasons to involve him in this. I mean, if they run into each other, Starbase 1, that makes sense. But yeah, they got to find more compelling reasons to involve him.
But actually, though, you don't need him. Like, Kirk's had his time. Like, the whole idea behind this is to show a time before Kirk and them of the Enterprise.
The whole, there's two conceits to this, though. Number one is that Pike is going to eventually pick him to be a successor on the Enterprise, so they have to kind of establish a reason why. And then number two, he has to interact with these people as well in some way, shape, or form. Yeah.
Why would Pike? That doesn't make any sense in a military command structure.
Starfleet assigns the captains, not that outgoing captain.
Yeah, that doesn't make any. That makes no sense, dude.
He can't nominate somebody though. Is that what you're saying?
He could have a suggestion.
He could suggest, but
but the ultimate
it's not up to him.
Fair point.
Right,
Fair
because remember, the whole thing with Kirk in the end was he was the youngest captain of Starfleet.
True.
So the brass would know about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the allure of this always was it was a time, because what was always the main in the end, what was always the main character, especially with the TOS cast,
right?
The ship was always part of, really, it was like the unsilent, it was a silent character on this. It was in that, and then you're showing, okay, the ship existed. There was a point where the original ship existed before Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
What adventures did it have? And, the way they kind of used him in season 2, that would have been fine, but just bringing him in on this, because eventually he's going to take it over.
Yeah.
It's just pandering. It's just unnecessary fan service. I mean, and it's got nothing to do with the ability of the actor. He's great as Kirk.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to see him as Kirk in a movie or the eventual spin-off series or something like that. But in terms of the story and to tell like competent things, you don't need to do it. You really don't need to do it. I mean, I even cringed when they brought in Scotty. I was like, it made sense because it's a natural progression, but then you're like, usually a captain is able to, nominate their senior staff.
Yeah.
So they're going to they might keep some of the people that are already there, but they might bring it. So it doesn't, it's just too much of him. Like,
I see. I stand down then. I stand down.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because I'll go back to what is Starfleet. Well, it's a space exploration thing that, masquerades as it's what is it? Warships that masquerade as space exploration. So, I mean, I don't know.
No worries, but yeah.
Anything else, Chris?
No, that's it.
All
right, so bro. So what is your rating for season 3 of Strange New Worlds?
I'm gonna have to give this right down the middle, 2.5 archaeological artifacts you shouldn't fucking touch out of 5.
Don't touch. Call someone.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Chris, what would be your rating?
I'm gonna give this 2.5 crunching zombies out of 5.
Got him.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably give this 2.5. Oh, the aliens are really ancient humans out of 5. So I got to give it up for the best episode. I feel bad for that episode now because it had to be surrounded with all the shit around. So, but yeah, and we'll be back. What is it? There's a 4 and a 5, a season 4 and a 5 of Strange New Worlds, right? But they progressively get shorter.
Greenlit, yeah.
I understand.
Well,
yeah,
the next season's a full 10, but the final season is said to be 6. So
yeah, it's like The Sopranos.
Yeah, so, there you go.
What do you guys? What are you hoping for? Season 4 to be better than season 3.
I'm hoping they find focus. I'm hoping that they are have a presence of mind that they're pushing towards the end game on this, and so that way they're preparing to wind up storylines in a impactful way for some of these characters. I expect in season 4 we might lose a character that we don't know the fate of yet. This shows surprises before. So if it doesn't happen in season 4, it more than likely will happen in 5. And then when I say lose a character, it doesn't necessarily mean they die. They could get transferred to another ship. One could just walk away from the job. It just depends. So, but yeah, they definitely have to move towards wrapping the series up, and setting the stage for that in season 4. And I hope they do a better job of that. And we do know we're getting a Muppets-based episode, and I'm not gonna poo-poo on that as much as I'm not a big fan of the Muppets, and I know Chris wants to throttle me for that, but
actually they should have put that Muppets episode in season 3.
Oh,
it might have helped the season.
It might have.
I just want to know. So, like, why do you hate Joy? Like,
exactly.
Why do you not like good things?
It's a great question.
I don't. Yeah, why?
Never hit for me, man. Except for I love Fraggle Rock and I love Sesame Street because it taught me so much as a young kid. But outside of that, it never.
Fraggle Rock, man, get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here!
Fraggle Rock is the shit. I fucking watched that show through its completion on HBO back in the day.
It's great shit in some ways,
man.
I mean,
it was a cereal, which I thought I appreciated at the time. So props to them for that. Outside of that, it's a long story. I won't bore you to tears, but
it's a thing of the Fraggles with their overwhelming power over the Doozers. I mean, this is a story of
it's a fight for survival, sir.
Master and servant. I mean, come on. I mean, okay, so the Muppet episode though, who is going to be Statler and Waldorf in that episode? They've got to show up, right?
I hope so.
They have to.
Please, by all means, my favorite Muppets. Plain and simple, man. Those guys are the shit. Give them all the props.
And what's the over/under that Pike's hair is going to get even taller in season 4?
That Muppet's hair is fucking wild.
What?
Chris, what did you say?
And you know it's gonna get bigger.
Hell yeah!
It's just it's a thing.
God, yeah.
Soon his hair will be the Paramount Mountain.
Yeah, definitely, baby. Maybe he'll be his first office that he worked in when he learned all about the TV business.
Jesus.
Over under that first episode is just going to be Pike about losing Battelle. I have a feeling it's going to be that. It's probably going to be really kind of a. Hopefully it's not a ham-fisted one, but I feel that it's going to be part of it. So
it could be poignant if they write it right. Hopefully they will.
Maybe the hair won't be as high in that first episode. So, but
maybe he'll just be sad riding a horse.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Find solace in the horses, but okay. All right. Anything else before we move on out of here? Chris, you got anything in MAHQ levels that we need to talk about or let the people know about?
No, just go check it out.
Soulbro, anything in the Soulbro world that needs to be brought out to the masses there?
Well, I do want to thank those who came out to watch the stream. These are the names I took account of while we were talking. Shout outs to Frank Lawson, The Hod, Yazi, Robin, aka Robo P, MCT Dread, Kamau Zeta, Ed the Crimson, and Dollar Relance, who slid in towards the end with that zippity doodah reference to what's that Disney movie? Song of the South. There you go. Oh my God, what a reference. Thank you so much. Also, if you guys had watched the start of the stream, you'd have seen the work in progress for the new intro. Thanks for the feedback, guys. I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys liked it so much, and I can't wait to get it finished. I might actually be able to finish it this weekend, so it'll be fully ready for the next episode. But it's been fun to edit and put together, man. Trying to find clips from all sorts of different Gundam series to piece that together has been cool. So I'm excited to see how it turns out in the end, and be on the lookout here on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@MAHQDotNet. Once the full version is done, it'll be posted here, and that'll be what starts off the show moving forward. So I'm glad you guys dug it.
Agree, disagree. So there you go. So all right, well, Silver, tell them where they can find us.
Yeah, by all means, make sure to visit MAHQ.net. That's the Mecha Anime headquarters. That's where the magic happens. You can find reviews, your favorite tech specs on your favorite mecha, and all sorts of information. Also, our podcasts, such as Mechanista NG, and of course, Gundamn and MAHQ. You can find links to those there. You can also find the forums there, MechaTalk.net. Also, you can go there, join, and become part of the conversation. Also find us on Facebook in the groups. That's at MAHQ.net there. And on BlueSky.
Who does that shit?
Oh, who knew? The Book of Faces, man. I like to call it Zuck Face. That's what I like to call it. But MAHQ.NET.
Fuckface is more appropriate.
That's why I call it Zuck Face, because that's pretty much what I'm alluding to. But MAHQ.NET over on BlueSky, also Gundamn on BlueSky. Donate to supporting MAHQ at ko-fi.com/MAHQDotNet. And if anything, Gundam.net is where you can also find the podcast. Find us on Spotify and Apple iTunes. Outside of that, man, we're good, man.
All right. Well, we'll be back in a few weeks. It's episode 322. You're listening to Gundam at MAHQ.
You two will be sacrificed to make way for the revival of Lord Cayenne Wang.
Cayenne Wang's revival? Fuck that!
I'll show you what you get when you go mano-a-mano with the Grey Ghost. What? Using a tractor beam on an old man, eh?
Silence, old man.
It's okay, Les. I think we're out of range.
Was that too much?
No. You were great. Thanks for the rescue, man.
Don't mention it.
Who's next on the beating list?
Earthling Mary Hart.
Finally, some entertainment tonight.